Hello, good morning. Hi. On this episode of Let's Get Real, it's episode 2 now, I decided to do a little exercise together. So, today's a little more relaxed. I'm sitting at my patio table and I figured sitting and really taking my time to focus on this exercise at hand would make this exercise the best for you guys, the viewers, because and even though I can't do it in person, I know that you can't do anything in person right now, so it's all virtual audiences. So if you want to join in on the exercise, you can go out, more than welcome to it. If you just want to hear about it and listen and figure out what it is, and then maybe you come back to this video and decide you do want to do it, feel free to do so. But let's begin. So I know that a lot of people will tell you that are similar to me, that want to motivate you and inspire you, will tell you that if you're successful and you know, or do all these things, you know, they really focus on the monetary things, like material things, like monetary, like money, obviously, and things like you get a nice car, and if you're successful and you achieve your goals, or get a big house, or you know, maybe it's like, oh, like you'll get to, you know, give a gift to your mom that she's always wanted. You know, maybe it's not necessarily like, oh, it's all about me, I get a nice car, but maybe it's like you get money for your family, or whatever niche that motivational speaker is in, but it's still focused on the material things and the money and things like you'll get things if you are successful, right? But I just want to focus more on what happens if you don't achieve your goals, right? So I want you first to close your eyes and think about all the cool things you could get if you achieve your goals. Your car that you wanted, you know, that money for your family, that gift that you wanted to give that person that you've always looked up to, or if you have money that you owe someone and you've never been able to pay them back, but if you achieve your goals and you're successful, you can have the money to pay them back. Whatever it is, just close your eyes and think about it for a second. I'll give you a second. Just think about it. Think about all these positive things, just positive energy, just all positivity, all these things you could get if you are successful at your goals. All these things, right? It's great, right? It's really great to think about all those things that you could get, and it's really awesome and super fun, and you're like, oh, I'm just like on cloud 9 right now, I bet, thinking about all the cool things you could get, right? I want you to just really sit in that for a second, you know? Okay? And then let's think about what happens if you don't achieve your goals. What happens if you set a goal and you tell people that, you know, I'm gonna make X amount of money, or I'm gonna start this business, like ABCD business, right? And, you know, like it's gonna be great and it's gonna be huge and it's gonna be because, you know, I'm passionate about like ABCD or whatever, you know, it's like all these things, right? And you tell all these people, and, you know, you try and you try, but then you start to lose your motivation because, you know, that initial like excitement and that motivation and that inspiration will wear off, and you know, you're starting to think like, maybe this isn't for me, like not like in a way that you should think of something else, but you just don't put in the effort anymore. You're just not putting in the effort, you're not motivated to put in the effort, and you're just like, maybe I should just give up, right? What happens if you don't continue achieving your goals? What if you don't continue to put in the effort to work towards your goal, whether it's building a business or making like a certain amount of money, or if it's improving yourself in a certain way? What happens if you don't achieve those things that you set out to achieve, right? What's going to happen is you're going to live with all the people that doubted you and have to know for the rest of your life that they were right. The people that doubted you were right. People that doubted you have every right to tell you, I told you so. What's that going to look like? Think about those people that tell you, I told you so. That will tell you, I told you so. Think about those people. What's it going to look like when you walk into a room on a family reunion, in a family reunion, or when you see your old friends, and all they got to say is, man, I told you so. Man, I told you you weren't made out for it. And they joke with you, but it still hurts. Because you just think about what you could have been, what you could have done, and you gave up. What's that going to look like, right? Think about that. Think about that pain that's going to cause you, because you know that you gave up, right? What's it going to look like when you know you didn't put put your 110%, 200% effort, 1,000% effort, what's that gonna look like when you know for the rest of your life that you didn't put your full effort? You just kind of did it and decided that you're just not gonna put in the effort anymore. Now you have to live with the rest of your life with people that tell you, I told you so. What happens if, like I said, like give the example that, you would earn so much money for your family, or you could pay a person back that you owed money for. What that's gonna look like when they look at you and they know that they'll never get their money that they lent you. What's it gonna look like when, a family member that you looked up to, that counted on you to be successful, has to look at you for the rest of your life in a certain way that just subtly reminds you what you could have been, what you could have been successful at, but you didn't put in the full effort. What does that look like? I want you to visualize that. Every time I tell you what does that look like, I want you to think about it. Whether you close your eyes or not, that's up to you. I feel like when I've tried to visualize things, it helps me to close my eyes to really feel not only the actual visual aspect of it, but the emotional part of it as well. So what does that look like? What does that look like to you? To know for the rest of your life of what you could have been, what you could have done, but you decided that you just weren't going to put in the effort anymore. What does that look like? To know for the rest of your life that you could have been great, that you could have been successful, that you could have had that money that you wanted, that you could have built that business that you wanted to make, that you needed to make when you were inspired, when you were motivated, but all of a sudden you just lost that motivation, or whatever you needed. It's gone. For whatever reason, right? And now you have to live the rest of your life knowing that you could have achieved something, but instead you gave up on yourself. You don't want that, do you? I know you don't. I don't want that for myself. I don't want that for anyone else. And I'm sure you don't want that for yourself either. So, what are you going to do that ensures that you will not live a life where people will walk around telling you, I told you so, and have it be true? Where people that doubted you have their doubts be made fact. What does that look like? Right? What does that look like? That's not something you want to live. It's not something I want to live. So what are you going to do? Are you going to write in your journal? Are you going to meditate more so that you have a better mindset? What are you going to do? If you can't think of anything you're going to do and you're just stressed out right now, I'll tell you what you can do. One solution you can do is right now, you can grab a piece of paper, a random piece of paper. Maybe you have a journal that you write in all the time, which I recommend getting a journal if you don't already have one, because it's very important to keep up a good mindset and keep up a clear mind. What you need to do is you need to write down what that thing is you want to achieve. Maybe it's not a business, maybe it's not about making a lot of money, maybe it's not, about sticking it to someone who doubted you. Maybe it's just you want to be better for yourself. Maybe you want to work out more. Maybe you want to eat healthier. Maybe that's just it. Maybe you're like, man, I just can't figure out how to stay motivated to eat healthy. I can't stay motivated to work out every day, or so many times a week, or for so much time, right? I can only work out for, I can't even work out for the full hour that I want to achieve long term. I want you to write down your goals. Writing them down, as dumb as it seems, because I know when I first started out, I was like, writing them down? Why do I need to write down my goals? I know what they are in my head. It's useless, right? It's not useless. It's very impactful, because now it's written on a piece of paper that you look at. And I want it to be something you look at regularly, which is why I recommend a journal, not just some random piece of paper that you're probably going to look at a couple times and be irritated with it and frustrated that you still haven't achieved your goal and then throw it away. Because trust me, I've done that before. So, I either want you to grab a piece of paper, put it somewhere, and write down everything that you want to achieve, right? Maybe not everything. Maybe you're just like, man, I don't want to overwhelm myself. Maybe, just pick one thing. Maybe it's eat healthy, right? Simple. Easy to do, right? Maybe it's just thinking about, maybe I want to have more positive self-talk. So, maybe something like that. Just write down whatever you feel comes to you, whether you want to go big or you want to go small and you want to go simple. Depends what works for you and your time and space and where you are at in your life. There's no shame, you know. Everyone that's big and successful has started out simple and small, so don't feel like you have to go big. But definitely write that down. And once you've written it down, just think about two things. One, being the things you can achieve. If you're like, I want to eat healthy, think about how much more energy you'll have. Think about how much better sleep you'll get. Think about how much, you'll appreciate food more, rather than just, seeing what you can buy at a fast food restaurant near your house and just not really caring about what goes into your body. You care now. You know what's in your food, and because maybe you'll discover that you like cooking because you cook more for yourself. I don't know. Just write down what you want to achieve in your life. Simple, small. Maybe you're not really looking for simple. Maybe you're like, I want to go big, right? But don't overwhelm yourself. But if you want to go big and you feel secure in that big goal, go ahead. But just make sure that, number one, you focus on things you can achieve, positive things. And number two, I want you to always remind yourself of what happens if you decide to give up the effort. If you decide, I'm not made out for it. Not necessarily, like I said, like you just need to find something else that you're better at, but maybe you just decide not to put in the effort anymore. What that's going to look like. Are you going to be unhealthy for the rest of your life? Do you have health problems that could be aggravated by, unhealthy eating, right? While we brought up the topic, unhealthy eating, I guess I'm going to stay with that example because that seems pretty applicable to everyone regardless of where they are in their life. So, are you going to have health problems that are aggravated by unhealthy eating? What is that going to look like if you continue to eat unhealthy, if you decide to give up the effort of healthy eating? What is that going to look like? Are you going to die 10 years earlier? Think about it. Really think about it. And I know it's not fun to think about, but it's my personal biggest motivator of I don't want to be on my deathbed and think about all the things I could have done or could have been or could have done for others. I don't want to be on my deathbed with regrets. That's my biggest fear in life. So what are you going to do so that you can ensure that you will achieve your goal that's right for you, right? You just write it down and make sure that you put it somewhere where you're going to see it regularly. Whether that's pegging a random piece of paper and putting it on your fridge with a magnet, or maybe you got a bulletin board where you just stick it with a thumbtack and it's right there in your room or your office or wherever. Maybe you have nothing to put it up for, you just take a piece of tape and slap it somewhere, right? Or maybe, like I said, you have a journal. Maybe you write in a journal every day or every so often, which I recommend every day, but maybe like me, you've gotten a little bit lazy and you haven't written it in every day. Maybe you just see it every so often. Maybe you need to find a better place so that you see it every day, right? But just make sure that you always have that reminder if that's a goal you want to achieve. Maybe you have a whiteboard, wherever it is in your life, or whatever it is in your house, or in your life, I guess. But in your house, wherever it is that you're going to see it every day, put it there. So that you can remind yourself of the goal that you want to achieve. And I want to leave you with, like I said, every big successful person that you see that makes lots of money or makes that you look up to because they have run this business and you want to run a business similar to that or whatever it is, they always start small. Always. They did not start out their life thinking, I'm going to run a business out and be famous or whatever. They started out by working on themselves first, by making little tiny baby steps so that they can become a better person to lead others into a better life. Right? You'll never see a famous person that doesn't work on themselves. I promise you. And if they don't work on themselves, you'll see their career come crashing down. Because if they don't work on themselves, their work ethic just crumbles. So, don't be afraid of setting goals. Challenge yourself. If you're like, I've never achieved a goal before, I always don't put in the effort. Remind yourself of what happens if you don't achieve a goal. Remind yourself. Think of all the negatives. Really think about it. Because even though it's not fun to think about, it's necessary. And it's not meant to be scary, but it's meant not meant to be scary to scare you off from ever achieving anything, but it's meant to scare you enough to motivate you to realize that you do need to achieve that goal of healthy eating, or, you know, having more positive self-talk, or whatever, right? I hope this little like exercise talk helped you a lot. I hope this more casual setting, even though it's not super pretty background, I hope you liked it. And if you like the video, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Honestly, like, I want to know if you don't like it, legitimately, because I'm going to continue to make similar content unless someone tells me that they don't like it and they have a better idea for me. So, thank you. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will have a lovely rest of my day for sure, because I am in a very good mood today, so I'm very happy. And I hope you enjoyed the video, like I said, and hopefully, you know, you subscribe if you like my content, and if you're new to the channel, welcome, and bye.